This is the Seemoon Dual Motor 3000-watt electric bike, and I've been riding it for 6 months through dirt access roads, suburban streets, and a couple of snowy mornings. In this video, I want to share how it's actually been to live with, what surprised me, and what I'd change if I could. Key features that matter day to day start with the dual motors and the 52-volt 20-amp-hour battery. 2 hub motors with a combined peak of 3,000 watts and a claimed 160 newtons of torque sound like marketing, but the punch is real. When I hit the handlebar button to bring the front motor online, it surges like a small dirt bike. On steep gravel climbs that used to make me hop off and push, I now just twist the throttle and go. With only the rear motor engaged, it's calmer, easier to manage, and much more efficient. That single dual switch is the personality toggle I use more than anything else. From my experience, range depends almost entirely on how aggressive I ride. On single motor pedal assist at low levels, I can stretch it to around 45 to 60 miles on mixed terrain with my 185-pound weight in a small backpack. If I stick to throttle only and play with both motors on hills or sand, I'm typically in the 20 to 30 mile window. That's still a good day out, but it's nowhere near the optimistic top number you'll see in the listings. The battery is removable and lockable, and I charge it indoors. The included 2-amp charger takes me roughly 8 to 10 hours from low to full, so I treat it like an overnight reset. After roughly 45 to 50 charge cycles, I haven't noticed a dramatic drop in capacity, maybe a little sag in cold weather, which is normal for lithium packs. Braking has been solid. Dual hydraulic discs were non-negotiable for me on a bike that can hit 36 to 38 miles per hour on flat ground with both motors. I had to bed the pads in properly on day 1, and I tightened the calipers after the first couple of rides, but since then, the lever feel has been predictable, with good modulation and plenty of power. I rotated in one of the spare pad sets around the 3-month mark after a muddy month, and they were easy to swap. The suspension is a big part of why this thing is fun off pavement. The fork isn't a boutique unit and the rear isn't a true linkage shock, but with the 2 fork legs, the 2 seat springs, and those 26x4 no tires at the right pressure, it takes the sting out of potholes, ruts, and washboards. I run the tires at 12 to 15 psi off-road for grip and float over sand, and bump them to around 18 to 20 psi for pavement to keep rolling resistance reasonable. It's not a nimble city whip, it's a comfy planted cruiser that eats rough surfaces. I like the step-through frame more than I expected. It makes it easier to hop on and off when I'm loaded with a grocery bag on the rear rack. The adjustable stem and the quick-release seat post help dial in a neutral position. I'm 5'11", and the reach works for me, upright and relaxed without feeling cramped. The saddle is wider and cushier than a performance seat. For long fire road slogs, that's a win. For technical single track, the whole bike is a bit much. It's wide, it's heavy, around the 90-pound ballpark, and it has a long turning radius. It's better as an all-terrain mule than a tight trail dancer. The controls are straightforward. The color display is bright in sunlight, showing speed, battery, and trip info. The twist throttle has a quick ramp, so in dual motor mode, I roll on gently to avoid unintended wheel spin on loose gravel. The 7-speed drivetrain is basic but fine for helping the motors. I had to tune the derailleur once after the first week, and it's been stable since. The integrated lights and turn signals are surprisingly useful at dusk. On my unit, the headlight and taillight sometimes stay faintly lit for a short time after shutting the bike down. It hasn't drained the battery in a noticeable way, but it's one of those quirks that reminds me this is built to a price. Build quality is a mixed bag, and I think that's fair to say after half a year. The frame and wheels have held up, and I've taken some hard hits on rocky sections. I did a full bolt check after assembly, then again after the first month, and I caught a slightly loose headset and a rear rack bolt backing out, which I blew Loctited. If you like to wrench a bit, this is easy to own. If you want to never touch a tool, you might get frustrated. The included kit, phone mount, lock, pump, spare tube, extra pads, was actually helpful. I carry the tube and a small multi-tool, and I toss slime in the tubes after my first thorn flat. No flats since. Performance-wise, this thing is a riot. Dual motors on a sandy climb feel like cheating. It's perfect for riders who want the dirt bike vibe without gas and noise, landowners who need to bounce between property corners, and folks with snowy winters who still want to ride. In my opinion, it's overkill for tight urban commuting, especially if you have stairs at home. Hauling a 90-pound bike up a walk-up is not fun. It's also not the easiest choice for brand new riders. The power is real, and the first time the torque hits, you need to be ready. Good helmet, gloves, and some empty parking lot practice will go a long way. Also, check your local e-bike rules. The top speed and dual motor setup can put it outside standard class designations. As for maintenance and durability, I've kept the chain clean and lubed every couple of weeks, retorqued obvious bolts, and kept the tire pressures matched. The battery contacts are clean, and the key mechanism still turns smoothly. The fork and seat springs haven't developed play, but I can feel that the fork damping is basic. It rebounds a little fast on repeated hits. That said, for the price and capability, I think the package hangs together better than I expected. From my experience, the value is in the power, the fat tires, the hydraulic brakes, and the feature set you get right out of the box. The compromises show up in weight, polish, and the need to do your own checks. I'd recommend this for riders who want real off-road ability on a budget and don't mind a bit of tinkering. It's not what I'd hand to a total beginner or someone who wants a featherweight commuter. In conclusion, this is a rugged, torque-rich e-bike that opens up terrain I wouldn't touch on a typical commuter. It cruises comfortably, hauls cargo without complaint, and storms up ugly hills that used to be a hike-a-bike. It's heavy, it's not refined like a premium brand, and it demands some respect and maintenance. But when I hit that dual motor button and the trail turns steep and loose, it delivers the grin I bought it for. I will leave all the information about the Seemoon Dual Motor 3000W electric bike in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.